Morning. Today we are going to see an important transportation problem by using modified distribution method. Initially we are going to find out the initial basic feasible solution by using WAM method, and we are going to check the optimality condition by using MODI method. MODI method is nothing but modified distribution method. Now the transportation problem that is given here is, so exactly the problem will be given like this. So for this transportation problem, the initial basic feasible solution is obtained by using WAM method. So let us see the WAM method first, and we can find out the transportation cost by using Waggle's approximation method. Now the transportation cost associated with each and every cell is indicated. Now in order to apply the in order to apply this WAM method, we can calculate the column penalties and row penalties. So what is the column penalty and row penalty? Let us see now. Now first of all we can calculate the row penalties. So let us see the shortest cost and the next shortest cost 13, 16, 03, and next one is 14, 17, 03, next one is 18, 27, 09. Similarly 17 is the shortest smallest cost, 17, 21, 4. Next one is 18, 16, 16, 18, 02. Next one is 14, 18, 4. Next one is here the smallest cost is 13, and the next smallest is 23, it is 10. Now we have to choose a cell with the largest what is known as penalty cost. Now with this penalty we have to choose this, and the row or column corresponding to this penalty cost, in which we have to see the least cost. What is the least cost of this column? So 13 is the least cost. To this we can allocate as much as possible. So for this particular cell, a cost whose cost is 13, you can allocate, suppose this particular F1 W4 cell has a requirement of 10 and capacity of 11 only. So we can allocate 10. So this particular cell has a requirement of this particular cell has a requirement of 15, and the capacity is 11. So minimum of 11 and 15, 11 can be accommodated here, it can be made 0, and it will be adjusted with 4 here. So that means if this particular row is completely satisfied, this will be completely eliminated. Now since these two rows are not made any changes, now these two, the penalties will remain same, 03, 09. And next one is for this 17, 32, 15 column penalties, 18, 27, 09, 14, 18, 4. Now out of this 03, 09, 15, 09, 4, which is the maximum penalty? 15 is the maximum penalty. The maximum penalty corresponds to this particular column. In this particular column, what is the shortest cost? 17 is the shortest cost. So for the shortest, this particular F2 W1 cell, we can assign as much as possible. This particular cell has a capacity to supply of 13 and a requirement of 6. Now minimum of 13 and 6, we can assign 6 here. Now we can assign 6 here. This will be exhausted, and you will be left with 7 here. Now this is also eliminated. Now completely exhausted. Now we are left with these two rows and 3 columns. Now for the remaining one, we are going to calculate the what is known as column penalty, so row penalty. So for that we have to do the shortest cost is 14, 18, 4, and next one is 18, 27, 41, 09. Similarly for this one also you have 18, 27, 09 and 14, 18, 04, and here also we have 23 and 41. 23 and 41 is there, then it will be 8. Is it right? So that means we have for row penalty is 14, 18, 4, 18, 27, 9, and your 18, 27, 9, and 14, 18, 4, and 23 and 14. 23 minus 41 minus 23, which is how much? 43 minus 20, 23 minus 23, 70, 18. So this is 18 is the penalty cost. 18 is the column penalty. So this is the maximum value. So this particular value we have to choose we have to choose this value, and for this we can allocate as much as possible. Now this particular cell with the least cost in this particular column is chosen, and for this I can allocate, see, it can have F2 W4 cell can supply 7 quantity, and it has a requirement of 4. Now I can supply 4, and this will be exhausted, and it will be adjusted with 3. Now again this will be made 0. Now here we are left with only 1 14 18, again 4 18 17 9, and here for column penalties 18 27 9 and 14 18, again 4. Now again there is a tie between 9 and 9. Now if you take this, then what is that we have to choose if you choose this particular row, where is the least cost? 18. If you choose this particular column, again the least cost is 18. Suppose if I choose this, how many units I can allocate at the most? If I choose this, at the most I can allocate 12 and 19. I can allocate 19. So that means if I choose this, how many I can allocate? 3 and 10. So better I can use maximum allocation. See, I need to allocate the maximum value. So that means 18 cell, this particular cell I am going to choose. I am going to allocate 12 quantity, and this will be left with 7, and this particular column will be exhausted 0. And next one is, anyhow in this particular row only 7 is left, one column is left. It will be like this, and in this particular row already 6 is allocated, and 4 is allocated, 3 is left. So for this particular cell I can allocate 3. So now almost how many, let us see how many cells are allocated. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that means again we have to see that whether all the rows and all the columns, at least one row and at least, so all the rows and all the columns are fulfilled. Suppose this particular row, in this particular row there is a one allocation. In this row one allocation is there, in this row one allocation is there, in this particular column one allocation is there, in this particular column allocation is there, allocation is there. So we have to make sure that, so now we need to find out the total transportation cost. The total transportation cost is equal to, let us see the row wise, 11 into 13 plus 6 into 17 plus 3 into 18 plus 4 into 23 plus 7 into 27 plus 12 into 18. So total transportation cost will be, we can calculate, okay. Now we can calculate the total transportation cost. Let us see the occupied cells. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So there are 3 rows. Altogether there are 3 rows, 4 columns, and total number of 3 rows and columns is 7. So m plus n minus 1 number of cells need to be occupied. Accordingly 7 minus 1, 6 number of cells are occupied. Now this problem is not a degenerate problem, and already this problem is an unbalanced transportation problem, where the supply is equal to the demand, or the capacity is equal to the total capacity is equal to total requirement, which is equal to 43. Now the total transportation cost is 11 into 13 plus 6 into 17, 3 into 18, 4 into 23, 7 into 27, 12 into 18. So accordingly we got 796 is the transportation cost. Now by using initial feasible solution, we got what is known as the total transportation cost is found to be 796. Now we can solve the, now we can check the particular initial feasible solution by using optimality check. So how to check the optimality? For that we have to adopt the modified distribution method. Now let us consider the modified distribution method here. Now let us see the same transportation problem. Now here we can allocate the values. See, for 13 the value that the units that are allocated is 11. 11 number of units are allocated for 13, and for F2 it is, for 17 it is 6, and for 18 it is 3, and for 14 nil, 23 it is 4. 4 units are allocated, and 27 it is 7, and for 18 it is 12, and so accordingly total allocations will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now here, in order to adopt the MODI method, in MODI method we have to adopt one particular procedure. In step 1 we need to calculate u1, assign u1, you can take it like this: u1, u2, u3, v1, v2, v3 and v4. Now the step 1 is calculate ui and vj for occupied cells. Please listen. For every occupied cell, we need, for every occupied cell, so this is a particular cell which is occupied. So the formula is Cij is equal to ui plus vj. Accordingly, for the first cell, it will be 13 is equal to u1 plus v4. Similarly, for second, 17 is equal to u2 plus v1. Third cell, 18 is equal to u2 plus v2. Okay. Fourth one, 23 is equal to u2 plus v4. And next one is total how many are over? 4 are over. Next one is 27 is equal to u3 plus v2. And 18 is equal to u3 plus v3. Now here there may be a chance that instead of taking the cost, you may be taking the occupied values, the value which is occupied with the cell. So you may be doing such mistakes. Now we can verify it once again: 13, 17, 18, 13, 17, 18, 23, 27, 18, 23, 27, 18. Now we got how many equations? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now here what we have to do? We need to find out u1, u2, u3 values and v1, v2, v3, v4 values. Now here, how to find out u1, u2, u3 and v1, v2, v3, v4 values? Simple. We can assign one variable, either u1, u2, u3 or v1, v2, v3, v4 values as 0 value. Now instead of assigning an arbitrarily any value to 0, we can choose a variable, any u or v, for a row or a column for which there are maximum allocations. Suppose if you take u2, the allocations are maximum. See this, for u2, in u2 the allocations are 1, 2, 3. u3 allocations are 2. Suppose if v1 allocation is 1, v2 allocations are 2. So better I am going to take u2 is equal to 0. I am taking. So this will simplify the problem. For problem simplification, I am going to do u2 is equal to 0. Suppose if wherever u2 is there, then accordingly, so from this you will be getting, when u2 is equal to 0, v2 is equal to 18. Wherever u2 is there, v1 is equal to, u2 is equal to 0, v1 is equal to 17. v1, v2 we got. Now here, when v2 is equal to 18, u3 is equal to 9. And we have to check for u1. Where is u1? u1 is there. v4 we got, don't know. Now let us see another equation, v3. Okay, v1, v2, we got v1, v2, u2, u3. v1, v2, u2. Now from this we get u2 value already 0 is there. So when u2 is equal to 0, and v4 will be 23. Now when v4 is equal to 23, u1 is equal to 13 minus 23 minus 10. 13 minus 23 minus 10, u1. Accordingly, now when u1 is, now here we want what we got actually, v1, v2. Now to find out v3 value, substitute u3 is equal to 9 Now V3 is equal to 18 minus 9, it will be 9. Now we can take the values. U1 is equal to how much? We got the U1 is equal to minus 10. U2 is equal to 0. U3 is equal to 9. And V1 value, we got V1 as 17. Okay, now V2 value we got it as 18, and V3 value we got V3 value as 9, and V4 value as 23. So like this, let us take V4 23 or not. U2 is 0 means 23. Now so U2 0, U1 minus 10. Now the step 1 is over. In step 1 we are going to find out U1, U2, U3 and V1, V2, V3, V4 values. In step 2 we are going to consider each unoccupied cell, and for each unoccupied cell we are going to calculate the total cost change. So how to calculate the total cost change for each unoccupied cell? So this is nothing but Dij is equal to Cij minus of Ui plus Vj. So this was already explained in the modified distribution method. So how to do this? Dij is equal to cost associated with ith row and jth column minus Ui plus Vj. Now for doing this, better we can follow one particular tabular column. So the tabular column is unoccupied cell, and this is what is known as this is operation, and the total cost change and net value. So this is unoccupied cell. The unoccupied cell. For each and every unoccupied cell, we are going to calculate Dij is equal to Cij minus Ui plus Vj and value. We are going to calculate the value. Now see, for unoccupied cell 1. So what is unoccupied cell? F1 W1. For this first cell, U F1 W1. So let us take this F1 W1 unoccupied cell. For this F1 W1 cell, total Dij is equal to cost is 21 minus of, for this particular cell, minus of 10 plus 17. Minus of 10 plus 17. So minus 7. 21 minus 7 is 4. Minus 10 plus 7 means it will be 7. 21 minus 7 means 14. Yes, is it right? Minus 10 plus 17 plus 7. So 21 minus 7 is 14. Now second cell F1 W2. F1 W2. If F1 W2, if you can take, this particular cell has a cost of 16 minus minus of 10 minus plus 18. Minus of 10 plus 18, we need to calculate this. So 18 minus 10, 8. 16 minus 8, it will be 8. Similarly, you can evaluate this third unoccupied cell, which is F1 W3. So for F1 W3 cell, it will be 25 minus of 10 plus 9. So that means minus 1. 25 plus 1. Minus of minus 10 plus 9 minus 1 minus of minus, it will be 26. Fourth unoccupied cell is F2 W3. Now let us move fast. F2 W3 for the unoccupied cell is 14 minus U2 0 and 0 minus 0 plus 9. 0 plus 9. 14 minus 9 is 5. Similarly, next one is we can take the unoccupied cell F3 W1. F3 W1. For this particular cell, the cost is 32 minus of 9 plus 17. 9 is the U3 and 17 is the V1. 9 plus 17, 26. That's 32 minus 26, 6. Now let us evaluate this particular unoccupied cell of F3 W4. F3 W4. Now for this F3 W4, let us check that total cost is 41. 41 minus 9, U3 9 and V4 is 23. 9 plus 23, 41 minus 32, it will be 9. Now let us check the optimality condition. Now the step 2 is we have for each and every unoccupied cell we have calculated the what are these, we have calculated the net cost change. So this value is known as, what is this value? This is the net cost change. And now in step 3 there is a one step 3. In step 3 what is that we are going to do? We are going to check the optimality condition, check the optimality condition. So what is the optimality condition? I will tell you. So if, so what is optimality condition? I told you, if the first one is, if all the dij values are greater than or equal to 0, then it is optimal. If all the dij values are greater than or equal to 0, it will be optimal. If second one is, if dij values are less than 0, solution needs improvement. Solution needs improvement. Right? Now that means here in this particular problem we have calculated all the dij values. What is this value? This is the dij value for all the, see, all the unoccupied cells whose dij or net cost change values are positive values. So that means this is an optimal solution. So with this optimal solution, so that means if the solution is optimal, the total transportation cost, that means whatever the initial feasible solution that is obtained by using VAM method is an optimal solution. So that means if you see the VAM method, so by using VAM method we got the transportation cost as 786. The same whatever the VAM method we obtained the transportation cost, so that is an optimal solution. Now it is optimal and the total transportation cost is 796. Now actually in Modi method what is that we have to do is, suppose in the problem if any of the value, if any of the value is a negative value, suppose there is a cell, suppose if you take this particular cell, if you take this particular cell has got a maximum negative value, that particular cell will be taken and we need to form a closed loop. So that particular problem we can see in the next class. Thank you.